Welcome to the eCom Growth Show. I am your host, Danan Coleman, founder of eCom Triage, co-founder of Catalog Defender, and longtime seller. And I have, you can tell by the length and color of his beard, a very longtime friend of mine in the Amazon space, Norm Farrar. It's a pleasure to have you here. You are an influencer, arguably one of the very first influencers in the space, and I have been on your podcast, I think, 3 times.
Wow.
Yeah, it's an administrative oversight by Kelsey, but yeah, I've made it on.
I think so.
Yeah, I mean, like I told you, like you showed up to my podcast, you're like, oh no, Kelsey,
What
dang
did you
it.
do?
Yes,
What did I do to deserve this?
I know. Well, you know what? It's too late. We're recording, and whatever ends up in this, I'm putting live. It's going
All
out there.
right.
So you best behave. You best
I
behave.
will. I will.
I don't believe
Just
that.
have
All
a
right.
Coke Zero and we're off.
That's all right. I'm gonna have forgotten my water and go thirsty. So, Norm, you're known in the space for a lot of different things, but you're also not known in the space for a lot of different things because you do so darn many. Can you give us an introduction to who is Norm Farrar? Why does he have a beard? When was it set on fire? And kind of give us your origin story into this space.
Sure. So, first of all, I think the beard story's the best because it's about a personal brand. So I would go to a lot of events back in the day. Nobody knew me without the beard. I'd be sitting there listening, but I'd also follow up with speakers. So I wanted information. I wanted to absorb it like a sponge because I didn't know Amazon. I knew e-commerce and I knew a lot of different things, but I wanted to get into Amazon. So best way to know is follow up, ask some questions, find out who these people are. And nobody would remember you. Like you could be sitting in front row. You're just another face. So I was having a cigar. I like cigars. I was talking to a buddy of mine, Colin Campbell, and I had some aftergrowth. Like I just wasn't shaving. It was in the middle of the hockey playoffs. So
Okay.
in Canada, you grow, whatever you could grow.
Okay.
So he said, you should probably just grow a beard. Like Roy Orbison has sunglasses. Just grow a beard. And I thought for a second, and we were laughing, right? And I said, yeah, you know what? That might work. So as I grew the beard out, like there's that really weird, awkward stage where it's, just itchy and it's about this long.
Yeah.
But once I got past that, I remember going to shows, like one of them was Jordan Belfort, the Wolf of Wall Street. And I can remember like reaching out and I said, oh yeah, I was that guy in the third row, blah, 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 blah. He goes, oh yeah, I saw you. And it was like, this is working.
Yes.
So I started reaching out to other people and I got to know people. And then as I got into, and this was a complete fluke, I would never have thought I would be on stage or have a podcast or do any type of influencer work. I was an entrepreneur and strictly an entrepreneur behind the cameras.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden I went on stage once at Amazing Selling Machine, 2017, said my spiel. And then after I got off stage, like I was asked to do other things. Manny Coates got me to be a guest, like a regular guest on his podcast at the time, AM PM.
Yeah.
And then people started recognizing me with the beard and I just kind of stuck with it. So I never had a beard before. Well, I did, just to bother my wife a bit, but it was actually, dark brown, not like this.
Yeah. But by the way, everyone, his wife is an absolute doll. She's such a sweetie pie. Completely polar opposite.
You've never met her. That's somebody else. Yeah.
You've been carting around somebody else for all these years.
Yeah,
huh?
what the hell?
Yeah, cool. Okay, good. So that's how you got your branding.
Yes, personal branding. And by the way, if you notice, so I'm a brand guy from way back when. I've dealt with all sorts of companies, large, medium, small, but consistency is everything. So not only the beard, but back in the back there, like you could see the Marketing Misfits, what's the beard, the orange and the black.
Yep.
Everything I do is orange and black, specific Pantone colors.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, personal branding is not only because you're wearing a pair of sunglasses or because you have a beard. Normally, like I usually wear a black shirt, so it's black, has orange or have highlights of orange, and everything we do from our podcast, the Marketing Misfits podcast, Lunch with Norm podcast, the newsletters, all have that kind of form, even social media.
Yeah. So brand is not just the beard, but also your color scheme.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. And the cigars. You
Cigars, yeah, that's come into it now. Like again, that Marketing Misfits thing in the background. If you're watching this video, you can see it. Yeah, that's part of it. It's the cigars are all part of who we are,
Yep. Yep. I mean, it's always
and you
been
too, by the way. So what do we do whenever we go to an event?
yeah, we go have cigars. Yeah, absolutely. Before I met you, do you remember when I was bringing that Pelican
The one that
case?
you gave to me,
Yes, that's right. I forgot I gave it to you. Yes.
I have it right here.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's awesome. Yeah. Wait, does it still have the sticker I put on it for you?
Yep. Yep.
Aha.
Cigars with Norm.
That's right. With your
Yeah.
beard on fire.
Exactly. In the
Yeah.
proper order.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah. Well, I took your orange and color matched it when I did that sticker. All right, cool. So when what do you do in the space today? I know you've got a podcast, you've got Dragonfish, you've got the Marketing Misfits, you've got Lunch with Norm. As a matter of fact, I am still an admin on the Lunch with Norm WhatsApp group to help because it gets such engagement has to be policed. Um, so who comes to Norm and what does Norm bring to the people?
You know what's weird, and everybody says, and I've seen. I'll tell you a story in a second. What happened on a webinar that Kevin and I were doing. A lot of people are thinking, "Oh, you're using a podcast." I heard this before earlier on. To just milk people into coming over to you. Uh, Up until 4.5 years ago, I don't think anybody even knew what I did. It was just strictly to share ideas and build a community. That was my goal. Well, I guess we'll talk about community building in a second, but to do anything, and to be, I don't know if you call it an influencer or creator or whatever, for people to know you, I think one of the most important things is to have a loyal community.
Yeah.
Now, if you're out there and you're just selling, or just making money off of affiliate fees and all of that, people know that.
Yeah.
We made it like we told people, if we were 99% of the time, if we're talking about an app or if we bring it up on the podcast, we're not making anything of it. We think it's a great app and go for it, and we try to get you a deal, but that wasn't the reason for it. So I just wanted to say that because a lot of people thought that we got into this, Kelsey and I, just to make a ton of cash. And that you're not going to make a
What
lot of money
for?
off of a podcast. And tell you right now, you're not going to do that. But what I was known for is a Flat World Network, which still exists today. And that was one of the first, I think we were one of five, maybe. I don't know that for a fact, but I think we were one of the top or the first five agencies out there. And nobody really knows that. But from 2017, we were out there, we were helping people, get out there with their agencies or with their
Mhm.
brands. But then something happened. And there's two things that happened that had to change my game. One
Okay.
of them was all of a sudden people started not making money because they weren't listening on how to make it on Amazon. They were rushing into it. They didn't have the right margins. They just didn't do the proper research. Things happened and they were
Yeah.
losing.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden somebody comes up with a great idea. Become a consultant. And I remember the explosion of all of a sudden these agencies happened overnight. And I was doing something with this brand in Australia who was looking for an agency, and I was on the the short list. But she said to me, "Why? Do you know why there's four agencies that approach me with the same typos in their contracts?" And it was like, "Yes, I do."
Oh,
But I'm not gonna go and badmouth these agencies. It's just, yeah, no, like I didn't answer the question. I knew
yeah.
the answer.
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
what ended up happening is now, to this day, there's 3,600 Amazon agencies,
Really? I knew it was a lot, but I didn't know it was that many.
3,600, and, between Kevin and I, Kevin King's my partner, in Dragonfish, so we talk about these agencies, and probably 3,500 are bad. And I've seen it where agencies have reached out and asked me these questions. I'm going, "Oh, what are you how can you be an agency if you don't know this?" And so they don't know. The reason why they're an agency is they're a failed Amazon seller. And that's not the way to become an agency. So what I tried to do is build up the trust, show people like we build it. So this is the second part.
Okay.
So agency downfall, 3,600, 3,500 bad. Now they're competing. I have a certain price that I go out with. I try not to waver from it. I don't try to discount, but all these other people are basically doing it for zero, right? So that's a problem trying to tell people who you are, what you do. Luckily with the podcast, this comes into it. When they do find out I'm behind Flat World, I get that trust element.
Right.
So
Right.
that's, authority trust. The second part was in 2021 when the aggregators came in. Our agency handled 6 eight-figure companies, and we were doing really great. The one we built to an eight-figure company, one we took from a 10 million company losing $100,000 a year
Which is
that they
crazy
didn't
to
even
me.
know they were losing.
Yeah.
We pointed it out and built it up to something that they were very profitable, and we built it in a year and a half up to a 16 million dollar company. And then there was others, like we had 6 eight-figure companies. We were doing really well. Aggregators came in, started buying them up. With the aggregators, they couldn't tell me, they couldn't disclose that they were looking at selling their business. I'd find out the day of. And at the time, we had a termination clause,
Mhm.
but we didn't ever expect this to happen. And so I remember the one that I was just telling you, the one we grew from 10 million to 16 million and made them profitable. They
Yeah.
told me, like, I got into the office and they said, 9 o'clock in the morning, we got something to tell you. Oh, what's that? Guess what? We sold this to, and it was to, oh, come on, the big one,
Thrasio.
Thrasio. That's right. And they said, "But look, we're not gonna leave you in a lurch. We're going to, give you a bonus." And I thought, "Okay, great. How much? How much? How much?" Literally, I hate even saying this. They gave me a $1,500 bonus. Very generous of them,
Very
right?
generous, yeah.
Very, very generous. By the way, that product became, from what I understand through the owners, Thrasio's number one selling product in one day. So they really they got a
Thanked
lot of
you for
money
your
off of
service.
my back, right?
Yeah.
So it taught me something. First of all, panic mode, because
Mhm.
if this one could go, how many others? So 5 out of the 6 left me in 6 months. What does
Wow.
that do to your business model?
Kills it.
It kills it. Like, I wasn't my business model wasn't made for the new Amazon seller. My business model was made for the established people that are trying to get into different areas, trying to get into retail, trying to get into other online service providers, or doing, whatever it is, building communities, so many different things. Small, medium-sized companies couldn't afford it. So I remember, I don't know if it was Tim Jordan or Kevin King, but I told him, "Oh God, this has just happened." So within a couple of days, I had to change around the whole business model to accept small, medium-sized companies. And what else could I do? So we started that, but agency work's a pain in the butt.
Mhm.
First of all, many of the smaller Amazon sellers, and please, if you're listening and you're a small Amazon seller and you're going out to a firm or an agency or a consultant, absorb. Because what
Yeah.
we heard was, and this killed me, it was we'd come up to our monthly meeting, right? And we'd
With the
say, like,
brand?
every month we'd have our detailed marketing strategy meeting. Okay. And then it was, we'd talk for an hour and I hear what you're saying, but,
Uh-huh.
and it's like, oh God. And you can't grow if you're going out to somebody, whether it's a brand agency or a PPC, or if you don't listen, then you might as well just have thrown whatever that retainer fee was away and stop paying, because that's what they're paid for. And then you measure the results based on that. And if they're not performing, then, let them out. And the other thing is, like, a lot of the times it's performance based. So if you're not performing, then get rid of them. But yeah, it drove me crazy. So we had to revamp that. And then, like, the other business I had was content and PR. I've always done press releases for the longest period of time, with, gift guides and, trying to get into different magazines. That was a separate company. And then people just, Amazon sellers just didn't believe in it. I could show them back. Now this goes back because it was less effective, the last 2 years or 3 years, but I could show them how to rank for any keyword, how to have that keyword stick by using content and press releases. And I remember going out to events and talking about it. There's one particular event in Brooklyn. A guy came up to me afterwards and he said, okay, but what's your launch strategy? I said, I just told you my launch strategy.
Mhm.
Just do this and you'll see an improvement.
Mhm.
So, it's all come back. So press releases now are the hottest thing. And if you're not doing press releases and if you're not using that as part of your strategy, you are losing out, because I've been doing a ton of press releases, but recently I just did a press release for my buddy Colin, Colin.
Mhm.
And, within an hour or two, he was, picked up in, the, Google AI summary on Google, and he was mentioned in every single LLM, main one. So you name the main ones, he was there, and he knocked out his competition.
Interesting.
Yeah, so that's the strategy. That's what I was, I was talking yesterday, which I'm not sure when this will air, but, there was a eCom North,
This will
and
never air.
all right. I didn't think it was. I thought it would just be you and me, and you were just doing this because you've been on my
Yeah.
podcast 3 times.
No, 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 no. This is I'm actually just extracting information from you is all.
Okay, sure, no problem.
But yes, please go on.
Yeah, so, I was just talking about it yesterday, how important it is, and, just kinda looked out in the crowd, and so many people, nobody's doing it.
Yeah. Well, okay, so why don't we solve what I think might be an overarching misunderstanding. We all know what a blog post is. I don't think we all know what a press release is. Can you actually define what does it mean to do a press release?
Sure, so a lot of people, first of all, get mixed up when you say PR, right? So, I've had people come over to me and ask me for PR. And then I hear what they're looking for, and I'm saying, "Oh, you're looking for public relations. So you wanna set up an event or something that people can take part of, or an announcement." And, so just imagine if you were doing something where, you were doing an event at a club or something. Alright, how do you get the word out there? Well, a press release is the one that finds a newsworthy item and puts it out into syndication to all these different media outlets so people can find that event. And there's various ways of doing it, but that's the simple definition, is that it's a newsworthy item, not a promotional. You won't get picked up. But it's a newsworthy item that gets blasted out to a bunch of different media outlets, bloggers, influencers, journalists, um, periodicals, depending on the type of press release that you have, to get the word out.
Got it. All right, cool. And that was That was an excellent introduction into who you are and what you're doing. I have prepared 5 questions for you.
I got
Um,
it.
and I'm really interested in this because I'm quasi following in your footsteps on this stuff, building my own community. So the question number 1 is this. What are you focusing on now? I know it's communities, but tell me more.
Yeah, a form of community building. So the main thing that I say we because Dragonfish is something Kevin King and I are doing, and we have 3 types of business silos. One is email marketing, more
Mhm.
of a AI based email marketing that is completely different than what's out there. Then we have something that's more AI based. We call it, well, it is AEO, answer search optimization, sorry, answer
Eh,
engine
yeah,
optimization,
yeah.
and that's more AI. So that's either streamlining or getting you into the LLMs and into Google Summary.
Mhm.
And then we have our educational part. So the educational part is the podcast, newsletters, uh, anything that's really more community driven. So if you think what we're doing, we're creating a community for brands using the newsletters, the email marketing, which people don't even know. Like a lot of brands aren't doing anything to build their community. You
Right.
need a community, and they think that it's just value, 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 or added promotion, promotion, promotion. It's the wrong way.
Yeah.
So we've created these emails that go out there. They can actually personalize an email to each person. So like it's so crazy. It'll go through, pick up, profile you, and then provide a email in what we think will convert better
A
to you.
contextually accurate email to the individual.
Exactly. Yep,
Yeah.
that's what it is. And then that starts the communication, or that starts the community to be built. But there's other components in there as well. So with the AI side, now we're going out there and we're getting you to become an authority either through press releases or answering topics that people want to hear about on a regular basis, or making you an authority through Google Knowledge Panel. And then we expand your Google Knowledge Graph. The main thing is you have to come off as the authority. So I've worked on this, Kevin's worked on it, but if you type in our name, our little picture pops up with what we do, and then all of a sudden you can see our actual, not a search page, but our Google Knowledge Panel. And that just shows you more as the authority. That tells you that Google says you're an authority in your area of what you do.
Yeah. So what did you say? Google Authority Panel?
Google Knowledge Panel.
Google Knowledge Panel.
Yeah.
What is that?
So Google Knowledge Panel is something that a lot of people don't know it exists, but it's Google's. You know how you have in Facebook or Twitter, you get the little authority. You pay $15 a month. Anybody can do it. Well, that's not how Google does it. Google says, verify who you are. We're going to manually ensure that you are an authority. And if you come back as an authority, that we feel that you're an authority, we'll give you a knowledge panel, and we'll set you up with your photos. We'll have your about. It all depends. Like as a podcaster, what you're about, what your podcast's about. As an entrepreneur, who you are, interests about your company or companies, all your information. Going down the left hand side. It's quite cool. If you want, just check me out, just Norm Farrar, and you'll see what a panel looks like. It's completely different than a search page.
All right. Norm
And you'll see
Farrar.
my little face pop up.
Yep. Overview. Interesting. All
Yeah,
right.
and
We won't
then
spend time on this, but yeah.
yeah.
So
And I
that's
was
awesome.
going to say then from there you can build what's called your Google Knowledge Graph, which associates you with different people. So the beautiful part about having a podcast or a community, especially if you go out there and you are taking pictures with people, like we've gone out to 2 or 3, 10 different events, 20 different events. but we take pictures together. And because we take a picture, after the second picture, Google says, "Oh, you guys must know each other." It shows that you're in Paris and you're in California. And then it kind of creates this web of, okay, now here's you, okay, like with me. And then it can take a look at your people and your people who have associated with me, and it creates a web.
This is extremely valuable data.
It is.
Yeah. Ah, see? Good job, Kelsey. You brought the right person to the right podcast. Oh.
Uh,
Yeah, you know what? I saw, I don't know if it was your first. If it wasn't your first, it was one of your first. I think I saw your very, very first talk that you did on building out your business profile on Google and how
yeah.
much value you can actually push with that. And interestingly, I've had I've been in business 15 years, and what I used to do was Google local search marketing. So I had a pretty good understanding of, optimizing that stuff. And yeah, I still didn't listen to you, but it was that's actually not true. I did go in and change a whole bunch of stuff while you were talking about it.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and if that's tied in right now, that's great. Another thing to know about Google, a lot of people are going, oh, well, like all these LLMs are going to replace Google. Well, no, what's happening is Google is changing the face of the way we are browsing right now.
Yeah.
So they have three things that are happening. They've got AI summary. Okay, so everybody, if you don't know, you can go in there and you can see the summary. They've got AI mode. They've got two experimental projects that they're working on. One's called AI or Project Astral, and another one
Yeah.
called Project Meridian or
I don't know about
Mariner.
that one.
Yeah,
Mariner, okay.
so that's just the way that you're going to interact as a human with an AI agent. And so all of this is going to be changing in the near future. So if anybody thinks that Google is dead, uh, they are wrong.
Okay. So you've already I was gonna ask you, why are you focusing on communities? You've well explained that, I think. Um, let's go, and we're basically at time here, but you and I have spent many, many, many hours and can spend many hours just talking about things.
And I'm sure you're going to edit the hell out of this.
Yeah, I'm just gonna uh I'm gonna take everything you said and voice it over for me. That's what I'm gonna do.
Okay. Yeah. Very
Yeah,
good.
perfect. Um, how do you start building a community? And I'm really interested in your response on this because this is what I'm doing right now.
Well, the first of all, you got to get people to trust you, right? So one of the things you can do is do a newsletter, and you could do a podcast. So the podcast drives people in. You could create a WhatsApp group. The WhatsApp group, again, people are going to be discussing. And when you know you have a successful group, it's when you don't have to really participate. You let
Mhm.
the people moderate, like you're a moderator in one of ours, and see how that goes and see what people are talking about. But then you know that you've got somewhat of a successful community because they're just doing their thing within the community. The best thing I've done that I've seen we could build fairly rapidly was the newsletter. So the newsletter wrapped up with our emails that we're sending out are helping to build the community. Now, once you have, let's say you build a newsletter and let's say you have a YouTube channel or a podcast. Now, those people who come over and are part of your community, just think if you're launching something. It's the
Yeah.
easiest way. I'm going to jump back not to what I do in Amazon, but as an Amazon seller, let's say that you can build out your authority. Like there might be two communities. It might be just pure value, and then you have one more on your brand. So those the people over on the one side might be interested in your product because you've got such great information. Let's go over and check out what this dog bed is. So they go in there, and now if you ever have to do a product launch, man, you don't have to discount really. You can discount very little because people love your product. Like we're doing this right now with one of our clients, and it's a knife. and he has 11 different knives.
Speaking my language here.
There we go. But just based on one good quality knife, he's been able to build out 11 different knives, and he's got 7,000 people, not a ton, but
Well, it's not nothing.
it's not nothing. And he could set out, do an email campaign, and if you want reviews, and if you want, like, without soliciting them even,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you're gonna see all this positive stuff happening.
Yeah. Yeah, awesome.
So that's
Yeah,
one way to build it, and the other way is to promote, 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 but through content and press releases. Also, the biggest tip I'll probably give, other than the Google Knowledge Panel, is go out there, look at the questions people are asking, and like people also ask, in the section in Google, and answer those questions. Just go
love it.
go on video, or you can go and you can type a post, but just answer those questions, then you'll get into the LLMs as well.
I like it. I like it. And where are you going to answer these questions? I mean, obviously, you can go into WhatsApp groups. You
No,
can go
you like,
into
what I'll do is I'll go in and I'll ask, what are eh, the first thing I'll do is I'll try to research what the questions are. So I'll go into Google, I'll type in a keyword, I'll check what people are asking. So people also ask. But you'll notice that as soon as you hit that, you're going to drop down to a new section and another section and another section. So you can pick out 4 or 5, 7, for the week, and then answer them. Like, you could go, like, Saturday's my day for doing a lot of recording, and I'll just hold up the phone, answer it, and then we can publish it, repurpose it all over wherever you want to. So you could do it in text, you can do it in audio, you can do it in video. And
Mhm.
what I like, this is okay, I know you don't want the long-winded answer, but one of the best things that we're doing right now is our secret weapon is Gemini. So yes, you can do deep research and all these others, but within Gemini, I'll have it, let's say, just say for cigars. So I just did this for the lectors. What and how, give me the history and everything behind a cigar lector. And these are the people that would read out to the cigar rollers while they were working. This is where they
Oh,
get
yeah.
their information,
Yeah.
a newspaper, a book, whatever it was. So they would be sitting up on a stage. And so I did deep research. I got the information. I I opened up a Notebook LLM or LM. I added it as a source. So now it's picking it up as a source.
Yep. Is this a
I could take
dynamic
other
source, or
information.
did did you put the link there so that it picks it up as a dynamic source or just as a static document?
I saved it as a source.
Okay, okay.
So in Gemini, you could save it as a source.
Got it. Okay.
And in Gemini, you can save it as a web page, that's
Mm.
kinda cool too. But
Yeah.
I take that, I save it as a source, put it into Notebook, and then within Notebook, I could also add, YouTube videos, links, whatever you want, other web pages. From there, I can get an FAQ, I can get what they call a study guide, but I get more information. But if I'm just doing pure information, I can take that, bring it over, have the demo with the 2 people that we all know, but you can also create the video. So now I can create a video through it, and then this is where I change things. I take the video, or I take the people's voices, I put them into Descript, I strip out and I say speaker 1, speaker 2, and take out all the ums and ahs and stuff like they do, like, get on my nerves, and then I'll put it over to, um, Descript over to, what is it? Not 11 Labs.
Oh.
HeyGen.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And then I have my avatar. And so I'm the one talking in the video, not the video, not the normal
The
person
AI
that
voice.
talks.
Yeah.
And then on the 2 people talking in the podcast, I'm one of them, and I switch the avatar to somebody else that has not such an annoying voice, and we'll switch the video. So I'll be the person, and I'm talking to the other person, the female. So this is all stuff you can do so quickly and transcribed, by the way. So
Right,
transcribed into different languages.
right, right. Yeah. Have you done a video on doing this yet?
No, I don't
That'd be
think Kevin
cool.
will allow me.
That's fair. I guess it is a little bit of a intellectual property for you, isn't it?
Oh, we got other things up our sleeve.
Okay, okay, cool. Well, Norm, we're at time here. Thank you so much for coming on and taking the time to spend with me, even though I won't be going to your event in Tampa,
Yeah, I got to thank
which
you
is
for that. I
yeah,
appreciate it.
yeah,
Yeah.
which is where I live. But how can listeners, meaning my mom or whoever accidentally clicked on this video, how
Yeah.
can they get a hold of you?
Well, we're still looking for that first video, first listeners. So if you're out there and you want to be entertained a little bit, you can always check out Lunch with Norm. That's on Wednesday live, but our Lunch with Norm YouTube channel has an edited version, which is pretty good. We spent a bit of time on that. Also, the Marketing Misfits that's published every Tuesday on YouTube. And we have the newsletter, which I'm pretty proud of, lwn.news, Lunch with Norm, like lwn.news. And we have Flat World Network or Dragonfish. And I hope you can put those in. There's too many things. I got to get focused.
Yeah. Hey, well, you know what? I have the same problem. It's like, welcome to the podcast. I'm your host, the seller, the content creator, the, SaaS, the consultant, and the blah, 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 blah. Like, never mind. I'm just a guy. Welcome.
There you go.
Welcome to the
You're
guy.
just a guy.
I'm just a guy. I'm just like you. Uh, but yeah, Norm, always a pleasure, my friend. And I
You
actually do
too.
mean that I know I give you I sass you, but it always is a pleasure to chat with you. So thanks for being on.
Right back at you, buddy.
Thanks. All right, folks, we'll see you in the next one and go visit Norm with Lunch with the easiest one to remember is Lunch with Norm. Search
There you
that,
go.
you'll find him.
There
All
we
right.
go.
Bye everyone.